Hello, Jackson here. I just wanted to do a video talking about all my end of year pickups I did. Uh, I think for a lot of people it's going to be Christmas time. There's some crazy deals going on for Lego, and I took advantage of a lot of that. Got a few gifts from my family. Obviously, like I'm an adult man. People don't get me tons of Lego, but I like to take advantage of myself, sort of a Christmas present to myself, and buy some sets. So figured I'd show you guys just everything I purchased here at the end of the year while some of these sales were going on. There's a few sets that haven't arrived yet. I'll show you guys them at the end. But I got some really cool plans for these, and I'm pretty excited about everything I was able to grab. So, where to start? I was gifted another Clone Trooper Battle Droid Battle Pack. I've done an alt build of this for the speeder. I think this, for free as a gift, it's definitely a great army builder, but even on sale, these drop down to, I think, 23 bucks. Not the worst purchase to make if you need an army build. 4 clones, 2 B1s, and 3 super battle droids, plus a tri-droid, plus a little stat, plus a speeder. Some decent value if you can get a couple of them for sale, or like I did. I bought one on sale and I got one as a gift. Really great base army builder. So very happy with this. Probably going to continue to do my alt build I've designed just to have matching speeders, but very excited. This will be good for army building. So pretty happy with this pickup. Okay, we'll do gifts. The other set I was gifted this year was the Jango Fett helmet. I love Jango Fett, one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars. And these helmet lines, God, this glare is terrible. These helmet lines I'm sort of particular about. Some of them I don't like. Some of them I'm pretty into. The Jango Fett one I think is super cool. I love the blue and the silver. I just think it's built really well. They really nailed down this Mandalorian helmet design, especially with the Mandalorian one out right now. And, all the clone ones they've been designing. So I was very, very happy with seeing this on shelves, and very happy I got it as a gift. Sorry, that glare is just absurd. So got this as a gift. I've already built it. It's sitting here on my desk. I'll do a separate video talking about helmets maybe. But very happy with that. All right, so in the weeks leading up to Christmas, stores will do these random sales. So I lucked out one morning, happened to get up at like 5 a.m. because of the dog, and got a notification on some Reddit, Discord, something or another, that, hey, Macy's, which sells a bunch of Lego apparently, is having a 40% off sale, which is huge. So I picked up a couple sets for 40% off, which I'm very, very happy I snagged. That's a really hard deal to beat. Those deals, that's like essentially a Black Friday deal or better, but it was like the December 12th or something. I don't know why it was on sale just for a few hours that morning, but I picked up a couple sets. Stuff was going really quickly. So I got these sets for 40% off, really, really cheap. I was able to pick up a Force Burner Snow Speeder. I think these, I really like my Dark Falcon. These Rebuild the Galaxy sets are really, really cool. Super cool to have like a flame hot rod style snow speeder. That new snow speeder cockpit piece is super cool to me. Some good character builds in it. Oh, it's mirrored in the camera. Good character builds in here. I think all that is they're cool characters to have, and being able to display it alongside my Dark Falcon and a sort of Rebuild the Galaxy set shelf piece will be very cool. So very, very happy I got the Rebuild the Galaxy Snow Speeder. Again, 40% off. I think this is like a $50 set. So I think I snagged this for, I don't even know, under 30 bucks maybe. Super good deal for 30 bucks. That's crazy. So I got one of those. I was able to snag the new V19 Torrent. Again, for the same price. This is like 60, and I think I spent, I don't know, 35, maybe less. 40% off. Crazy deal to get on this. Again, I really love Clone Wars arcs, animated Clone Wars, so getting an Asajj Ventress and a Obi-Wan in his Clone Wars era armor is really, really special to me. God, this glare is unbelievable, sorry. But yeah, getting getting those minifigures there, I think, is really cool. No waist cape on this Asajj Ventress, but otherwise, I think it's really cool to have those guys. And a fun build. The V19 with, its movable wings is a really cool ship to display. And I've already checked it out. There's definitely some cool mods I want to do. Sorry, the focus. To either make it a little better or just make it a little more playable. But, being able to display it like that and sort of launch it down into attack mode like this is really cool. Again, hard to beat for like 30 bucks. So really happy I snagged that. And then the other things I was able to get at Macy's was I actually got 2 of these. These are retiring at the end of the year. This Paz Vizsla Moff Gideon battle. You get 2 Praetorian Guards. You get this really cool gate build, actually, that I've been kind of obsessed with recently. I think the build itself, right? Some of these battle packs, some sets have like weird little builds that just don't really do much. It's just sort of to throw some pieces in. This gate function that actually is able to open and lock open and drop down. I think the colors are cool. You got good rock formations and all this good sticker pieces up here with nice lighting, and the gate build itself is a really cool design. And then this, sorry, it's all mirrored. And then this turret design up here, I was very, very happy with seeing the build and the figure lineup. Obviously, getting 3 Praetorian Guards would have been cool because that's what happens in the show. But sort of why I grabbed 2 for basically the price of 1. Now I can combine them, make a full scene display using just the minifigures, right? Have 3 Praetorian Guards and Moff Gideon attacking Paz Vizsla, and I'll still have a Praetorian Guard, a Paz Vizsla, and a Moff Gideon to maybe display on some sort of minifigure shelf or in another set or another scene. So really glad I grabbed 2 of these things for basically the price of 1 right before it retires too. I don't imagine this set going up a ton in price when it retires, but you never know, and hard to beat 40% off versus paying inflated prices on the aftermarket. So that was part of my Macy's haul. Again, that was like a 5 a.m. I was still in bed, just clicking buy, just to take massive advantage of that. The other set that I got that is new, so I don't have the Jabba's sail barge yet, but I would like to get it. It's super cool. It's minifig scale, a lot of play features on it, great displayability, huge fig lineup that's really cool. I definitely want to get I'm very particular about which UCS sets I want to get. The sail barge is one of them. It's so cool, but it costs a bunch of money, so I'm waiting to get it for when the time is right. But the annoying thing Lego did was added these skiffs that accompany the sail barge as like extra sets. Instead of it being all inclusive, it's should have been included for how much the sail barge is. So I had to snag one of these. These have been selling out really quick. I mean, even back in like November, I feel like they were pretty much sold out everywhere. Because they're such a staple for getting that UCS set that people are buying them on the aftermarket like crazy. The other part is it does come with a 25th anniversary fig. It's 25, right? Yeah, 25th anniversary fig of Neneb, which is cool to have now, I guess. I didn't want this as much as I actually wanted the build and the characters for actually displaying that UCS set in some sort of cool desert Tatooine mock. So maybe I could have found it a little cheaper without this figure on the secondary market, but I happened to be walking through the grocery store with my wife. We were looking for last minute Christmas gifts one week. I mean, this was a couple days before Christmas Day, so like December 20th, maybe 21st. And I look over, someone is restocking the Lego aisle, but every single set has a sale price sticker on it. They're all like bright yellow, and I was like, we have to go check out and see what the sales are. I've gotten a lot of sets already. I'm not trying to just buy, but there was one of these tucked way back in the back of the shelf, like the last one in the row, underneath the shelving, so you couldn't really see it until you crouched down, and it was on sale for 20% off. And the worker was right there, so I had him open the cage. We grabbed this thing. I was like, this is a Christmas present to myself, considering it's like, I don't know, 60 bucks new. It was on sale for 50 or something like that. And the secondary market, it's going to be 100 plus. So huge to get. It's retiring at the end of the year. It's retiring in a few days. So really glad I snagged this. Just happened to be walking by. Lesson learned, always do a pass by the aisle if there's cool sets you want. Getting them in person is always super fun to instantly have. Check out the box condition. I'm obviously going to open this eventually when I get the UCS set. Not planning on opening it, just have the Desert Skiff available. I think it'll be fun to build that all at the same time. So huge snag for me personally. I've been looking at the prices online, just jump with this thing. So it felt like a huge miracle win to see this at the store. One final one. We were the only people in the Lego aisle. I had them remove it, and probably 2 minutes later, we still stayed in the aisle, still looking at some other toys for some people we know, and 8-10 people started coming down the Lego aisle looking at sets, and I was like, oh my god, we might have just beat the rush. We might have just got their last one they restocked. Super fortunate we got this. So very, very happy with this pickup, especially for the price. Hard to beat a Christmas sale on that. Okay. Then I went on a bit of a tirade, is that the word? A bit of a bender on eBay buying some used sets. I really like eBay for used sets. I don't know if it picked that up. That was a crazy growl. I don't know if... So I like going on eBay for used sets, mainly because if there's alt builds I want to do, or there's things I want to build with it, or I already have the minifigures from the set, or the minifigures don't bother me that much, that takes such a huge price off of the Lego sets that you can get retired sets for really, really cheap. So I went on a bit of a bender, did that. I probably bought, I don't know what I'd say, 5 different sets on there, but all of them were for like half the retail cost of it, with shipping already included. Just a really good deal. So I want to showcase some of those. Something I do on eBay a lot is look for sets that I just don't have, little sets that, I can build up. Cool little display pieces, cool things to use in MOCs. So one of the sets I grabbed was Ray's Speeder. It's open. They completely disassembled it all. It comes with all the minifigures, all the pieces, the instruction booklet, everything. Pretty good box condition, actually. And this was like 20 bucks. Including shipping was like 20 bucks out the door. That is a steal to me. I think Ray is like a really unique speeder. However you feel about the sequels or not, I think this is at least a cool new unique speeder build, and I really like Ray's outfit with that scavenger head wrap with the goggles that she has. I think that is such a cool piece to have, especially for possibly like unique character building or background characters that you want to show for like a desert Tatooine build. My plan is to do like a really large scale desert Tatooine build. That's why I want to get Jabba's sail barge. That's why I like a lot of these sets. But this one I was very happy to get. 20 bucks out the door, fully complete. Hard to beat for that. So threw that in there. It's retired now. Probably didn't sell that well, just given how retired sets, or how sequel sets sort of do. But I don't mind the sequels. Obviously, there's some stuff I probably would have changed given how Legends worked and stuff. But, we get what we get. I love just sort of blissfully accepting the canon Star Wars universe that we have right now and diving into it, seeing what else they can do. Okay, the other thing I did... what order should I do this in? I'll show it later. So I told you about that Moff Gideon set I bought earlier, right? I have 2 of these brand new. I was able to find just the build, right? So it's got the turret, it's got the door that locks up, you can drop down, it's got these crates, it's got all these rock pieces. I think this build looks very cool for Star Wars. I was able to find 4 of them, just the build. So with shipping, everything included, for like 15 bucks a piece. To me, that's a great deal. Because there's a specific rebrickable MOC I'll show here in a second for my plan for it that requires 4 of them. Again, I've been buying them like crazy. Like this is 2 of them I got sent in a bag deconstructed. This one happened to come mostly constructed, so I've just been leaving it as a display until I actually break it down. But I think these are very cool. Again, I'll show here in a minute what sort of what my plan is for these 4, because I do have 2 new ones. I'd like to set up more of like a pure MOC for how the set came, or that general scene. Maybe put Bo-Katan and people back behind the sliding door. But there's a cool base build I want to do with those, and I don't need the minifigures to make this base that I'll probably stock with other figures. So I bought 4 of those, $15 a piece, 60 bucks out the gate for 4 sets worth of build. I was very happy with, especially considering how the build looks. I think it would probably go for more than 60 bucks. So I did that. The other set I bought that actually just arrived today was I was able to snag the Playscale Razor Crest. It's complete, just no minifigures. I already own probably 6 Mandalorians and little Grogus and people at this point based on little micro builds and other Mandalorian sets, and so didn't need the figures. I have all the Mandalorian minifigs that I can need. And so I was able to get this. It's complete in its entirety. You know, it's all together. What I did appreciate is it came relatively disassembled. It was in little chunks, like the wings were in chunks. Stuff was pretty disassembled, so I got to sort of dig through the instructions and figure out how to piece it all back together today. So I sort of half built it today. And it is such a cool build. God, it's so big. It's such a good play scale size. And I bought it because there's a lot of modifications I want to do to this to make a really cool play scale version. And like the UCS one looks really nice, but it's huge. I like the size of this. I also have seen a lot of people mod these that I'm really, really happy with how those mods look. And so I don't feel bad. Like I didn't pay the whatever it was, $130 this thing cost on shelves. I paid with shipping and everything $50 for this build. I still got to half build it. I'll probably end up tearing it all apart and rebuilding it just so I can fully understand the structure of everything, especially with plans in mind for modifying it. I really want to build a cool interior with it. So there'll be some modifications. I want to, maybe tile off some of this stuff. But for $50, whole ship came. I've gotten to hold it the way it Lego intended, so now disassembling it and really fully building it up to what I want it to be will be a really fun project for me, and it's sort of guilt-free being only $50, right? Like this cost me as much as that V19 would have cost off the shelf, so this was huge. Yeah, very, very, very happy with this. It's really clean. It's really well done. There's no scratches or none of the stickers are applied weird. I lucked out a little bit maybe with buying this. But this was huge. This is one of the things I've really, really been excited for. Hard to beat for $50. So Playscale Razor Crest is going to be a really cool display piece once I get tinkering. So that I was very, very excited about. All right. Let's go into the sets that haven't arrived yet. So do I remember how to do this? Yeah. All right. So you should be seeing the screen. So other sets I bought on eBay was I bought this MIDI scale Millennium Falcon build. I had the UCS Falcon I'm still wrapping up here in the next week or two. I don't love the look necessarily of this MIDI scale Falcon. I think it looks really thick, weirdly enough. Obviously, I think MIDI scale stuff is just really hard to do, but there's a lot of cool alt builds of this that I would really like to do. The main one being, I know I just talked about having this Playscale Razor Crest, but this being a build that you can do exclusively with the pieces in that set blows my mind. I think this display Razor Crest that to me looks a lot more like a very miniature UCS one with the same way they did this yellow and tan striping and the way it all looks. I think that looks really, really clean on a display stand, angled like it's flying. This to me is such a good alt build that snagging this thing for $50, right? When it goes for, okay, 84 here, say maybe you even get it for 75 on Amazon. Taxes are going to be another 10 plus, maybe 15, so you're still back up to 85. Or maybe this is even pushing 100 with taxes if you order it or buy it in store. Who knows? $50 out the gate for the build. It's not like there's a minifigure missing. So I have this entire set. My plan is to build it. My plan is not to keep it sealed. So really just saving myself $25 plus by buying it secondhand to me was a huge steal. I'm glad I found that. And so I'm really excited to be doing this. One thing that does bring me a little bit of joy, I thought it would frustrate me, but it brings me some joy when buying these used sets, is you aren't building bag by bag. Like buying a UCS set used is a little daunting. That's a big chore because it's you don't get bags by bags. Helps you through the process. You're not digging through pieces you don't need till 500 steps later. So used sets, all the pieces come at once. So you really got to separate them out or dig through them and get yourself organized. But I've found that on smaller scale sets like this, or for Ray's ship, or some of these other sets that I'm buying, that extending that building process to me is a lot of fun because I like building the Lego, and so extending the build process, it's just more fun to me. I usually put up some sort of Star Wars movie or show on in the background when I'm building a set, and so the longer it takes me to build and organize and just have my hands on it, the more fun it is to me. To an extent, I'm sure buying buying the UCS Falcon used would be a nightmare to try and put together. That would be like a year-long project. Which maybe some people have a lot of fun with that. I would not probably thoroughly enjoy that. But so I'm very excited for this. Really good snag. I feel like I saved a good amount of money. And yeah, my main plan as of right now is probably to just out the gate build this. The only other thing I've been debating doing is that this is also an alt build for it. Oh, sorry. And it's a dropship with an ATTE, and it like actually clips on, and you can fly this dropship around and deploy it. It's obviously not minifig scale, but instead of paying, oh god, what is the dropship in ATTE? $1,800 right now or something stupid like that. Like being able to have something that sort of matches that function for $50 would also be very cool. And so I might keep my eyes out trying to hunt down another one of these build onlys for $50 or something, because I would love to also build something like this. I think that would be a very cool set to have. And again, something that you can tweak with it, right? You can build all of this with just the pieces from that set, but to me, you could also probably improve a significant amount on this by you just using extra pieces you own. So this is in consideration, but I will most likely be doing this out the gate just because that is such a cool little display piece. And then it's still got the mounts up here. You remove these little tiles and you can display minifigures, so I can put Grogu and Mando down here, which I think would be fun. The other set I got used, I got it the same way I got Ray's Speeder, so it comes with the box, all the minifigures, the manual, everything, is this Resistance A-Wing. I don't own an A-Wing yet, and this, again, was like $25 all in. So it's retired now. I'm sure buying a used, or buying a new one sealed in box is just absurd for what the set is. But I do think A-Wings are really cool. I've been a really big A-Wing kick recently, and so getting this cool emerald green one, it's Resistance, it's a sequel set, but A-Wings are a little bit timeless. They're used all through. So getting this A-Wing, I'm going to be really excited to see how this build works, see if there's any tinkering I want to do to it. But that was also a really good steal to me. So very excited to get this A-Wing. I've found a lot on eBay and some other sites that are like the build only with no minifigures, or the build only with only the pilot, or this ship but missing a couple pieces on it, all for the same price that I found one that just happened to be somebody selling their full A-Wing with all the minifigures, all the box, everything for the same price. So sometimes it just takes a little patience, takes a week or two of just digging around to locate some of this stuff, but you can get some really good deals, especially if your plan is already to build the set. If it's a smaller set like this and your plan is to build it anyway, save yourself 10, 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks on some of these sets. Like that's a free battle pack, right? That is, if I'm able to save 20 bucks, this is 23 bucks new. Grab this thing. You've now paid full price, but you got an extra 4 clones and a bunch of battle droids and stuff like that. Or, a bunch of other sets that are just, think of it as buying yourself a free battle pack if you want, by just putting in a little legwork. So I got that guy. Then the other stag I found, or the other deal I found, was Christmas morning. I was able to find this on eBay complete. So all the minifigures, everything, just no box. That's fine. I don't need the box. My plan is to build it. My plan is to really tinker around. This is not my favorite turbo tank by a long shot. There's one from my childhood that my friend used to have that we used to play with all the time that I really want to get and build again. But I really love these Galactic Marines. They're so cool. Getting Kiadi-Mundi would be very cool. To me, this is not worth $160 right now, right? If we want to factor in tax again, you're looking at more, I don't know, $180. That's crazy. To me, that's not out the gate, your bank account's going to get hit with 180. This is not worth 180 to me. That's insane. For how small this build is out the gate, you know, some extra pieces and extra stability and extra play features you're going to want to add to it later. That's just not worth it. You only get 3 Galactic Marines. I mean, you get the Commander. It's Bakara, right? Am I freaking out? It's Commander Bakara. And then you get 3 droids. I just think it should have come with significantly more minifigures for this price, and this should have been bigger. However, I found it new on eBay, just no box, for like 120 out the gate. So that saves me $60 probably all in. I think this is much more reasonably priced at 120. You know, that still might be a little bit on the more expensive side. Maybe this is worth more like $100. But these Galactic Marines are going to go up in sale and value so much that getting them is going to be like $30 a piece anyway. So there's $90 right there. Not to mention Bakara and cutting like that. The minifigs alone in this are probably going to be like $100. So getting it for 120 to me felt decent enough for wanting to get my hands on it. And at least I'll have sort of the build now. I want to really modify this and then begin maybe buy an extra Galactic Marine or 2 on the side and just be able to really beef up sort of a platoon. But yeah, so I feel pretty good about getting this for that price. Again, save myself like $60. So if you think about it, I got this. If I paid instead of paying this price for the same price, I basically got the Republic Juggernaut and the Playscale Razor Crest for the same price as just a Juggernaut. That to me is a pretty good value. That's always a good way to frame it. What other sets can you get for the same price? It's always good to get more Lego. So I snagged this. I'll probably do a review on it and a build process just to really see what I like and don't like. There's some really cool alt builds of this that are fun to do, but I'm more going to look for used sets of that because, like I said, the minifigures are so much of the value here that people are going to be selling just the build of this for next to nothing. So I'll be doing that later. Yeah, so that should be everything that I bought here in December. Oh, the other thing I wanted to touch on here is what I wanted to do with those 4 build-only sets that I got of the Paz Vizsla Moff Gideon. So there's 2 ideas here on Unbreakable. This is just a double one. It's really just a bigger gate with this turret mirrored on the other side. Now, I think that looks cool. Now, having 4 of them means I could build this twice, and so you could sort of have a really nice wall with 2 gates for some sort of custom MOC. To me, that's really cool. So potentially do that. I could build it twice. That'll depend on display size. But you can combine all 4 of them into something like this, which is the big gate still, right? This is relatively unchanged here on this side, but this side ends up being 3 stories tall with interior room that I can customize it, like add some flooring to here and maybe add a flooring over top for pretty cheap with some panels, and then really have a cool sort of base style that I think just looks really nice. I love the gate and these rock feature pieces and this turret. There's like a locked in box room up here for like a commander. I was very, very happy seeing this build come out. To me, if we got something like this for $60, build only, obviously, but I have plenty of Mandalorian and Moff Gideon minifigs to stack in this thing. So this build for $60 to me should be worth it. I guess it'll be like 67 by the time I pay for the instructions. Like supporting creators here on Unbreakable, and I love, you know, extending the things I can build. So obviously building this set straight up is really fun, but having the chance to then do a larger scale build like this that I think would display really well on a shelf or in a little mock scene you want to do, this is very cool to me. So I'm leaning more towards doing this one, but I'll make up my mind here in a little bit about what I want to build. So that's sort of my plan for that. Let's see if this is showing me again. Hello. Yeah, so that is everything I purchased here in the month of December. Quite a few sets. But I feel like I saved a really decent amount of money. I want to say maybe I spent, I don't know, we could add it up. Felt like maybe like $300 total, but I feel like I got a dozen plus sets. Really, really cool. Really cool way to shop for them. I've really been falling in love with hunting down deals, and you know, I don't mind getting up early a little bit if I maybe find a way to set alerts for these early Macy's deals. Macy is a sleeper. So yeah, that's everything I got. Excited for all of the building and modifications and videos I'm going to be able to make here in the future with all of these. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.